what makes them successful, and I thought I should research some of their points and bring it before us. The conventional description of leadership is that a leader is one who is in charge of a group, formally or informally, and such leaders influence their groups to pursue a goal, and then they coordinate efforts to achieve it. Leadership provides new direction. Everybody probably in this room probably read or heard about Colin Powell. He was the first US Secretary of State in America from 2001 to 2005. And he had some things to say about leadership. He said that leadership is about people. It's not about organizations. It's not about plans. It's not about strategies. It is all about people motivating people to get the job done. You have to be people-centered. The great Jack Welch, one of America's greatest CEOs, he died I think a few years ago. He said that we need to control your own destiny or someone else will. Before you're a leader, success is all about growing yourself. You think about yourself, you get educated, you do all the things to make you a great leader. But then you become a leader when success is all about growing others. It becomes other-centered. Leaders develop their potential as leaders individually with full credibility. They must understand that their employees need and generally care about them. Leaders solicit feedback and encourage employees to discuss personal topics. Leaders inspire confidence in their team. An outstanding leader would go out of his way to boost the self-esteem of all of their employees. When people believe in themselves, it's remarkable what they can do. Good leaders communicate clearly and concisely their message to inspire those around them to great heights of achievement. An example, Sir Richard Branson is a great businessman and investor. He's also an astronaut. I've studied a little bit about him and I was very impressed. He does so many things to make life easier for people. He observed that the ability to inspire is the single most critical leadership skill. This ability is to infuse energy, passion, commitment, and connections to an organization's mission and direction. And this is essential in any growing company or organization. When people are filled with inspiration, they often don't need any external motivation to move forward. The feeling of purpose and meaning is enough to fuel and to drive them forward. John Maxwell is a pastor. I love listening to his messages because he always comes back to leadership. He said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. No matter your title, people will not follow you if they don't trust you. Whether you're just taking over a team or working to implement large-scale change, you are guaranteed to run into resistance if you haven't taken time to establish a foundation with the people you oversee before turning their worlds upside down. And don't we all leaders do that? We turn people's worlds upside down because we always have ideas, new ideas. Leaders encourage employees to be open and honest about their professional as well as their personal challenges. Good leaders earn trust through allowing honest conversations about employees' career path and their personal issues. Jim Leland, a great professional baseball player, is retired now. He said, you don't need lip service, you lead by example. You don't need, in order to develop yourself into a great leader, you must set the tone and lead by example. When there's a disconnect between what you say and what you do, it is difficult for a team to work in an environment and flourish. They must see you doing what you said or expect them to do. And this effective leadership will be modeled the way forward for others to follow. Oprah Winfrey is one of the great talk shows. She's done amazing things because she can gab, she can talk. And one of the things that she says is that leadership is about empathy. It's about reaching out to that person and letting them know, I feel your pain, I feel your struggle. And she said that it helps you to relate and to connect with people for the purpose of inspiring and empowering their lives. To continue to inspire people, you need to perform at their best. You must understand the perspective of your people. I remember a lot of times, Doctor always says that. When he gives presentations, he always talks about the culture of Ghana or the culture of people. And he always comes back to, if you don't understand the culture, then you can't really serve them. You must also give them the respect that they deserve, which is reflected in the quality of service you provide. IHDN wants to always have top-notch service here. It does not matter that we are in the bush or we're in a place where there's, we're not in Accra or the capital. We want to give good service. Empathy allows you to accomplish this, and results is the best type of leadership style. It results in the best type of leadership style. The other person that I listen to is, she's the founder of Lead from Within. Her name is Dolly Daskell. And she says, becoming the kind of leader that people would follow voluntarily, whether you add no title or position, takes strength of character and a firm commitment to do the right thing at the right time and for the right reasons. Leadership is like a thermometer versus a thermostat. It takes energy, mindset, presence of will to bring the tribe together. It takes awareness. Do not let negativity suck the energy out of the room. It takes effort to be able to bring your personal best to the task at hand. But the Word of God says that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Another person that I listen to is this Super Bowl champ, Trent Dilfer. He said that pain is what God uses to take us to a point of thankfulness. When we give energy to the tribe, we have to remember God expects us to value others better than ourselves. We need to focus, and then we need to refocus on what it takes to be kind. And then we lock into that, then people could resonate with us. And the way we do small things is the same way that we do all things. If you take care of the little things, then you will take care of big things. So let us create a culture of unity, compassion, inspiration, resilience, and great humility. A leader is someone who takes responsibility to find the potential in people and possesses the courage to develop that potential. Look for someone who's capable and have people's skill. You look for someone who has the fear of God, someone who is trustworthy, and someone who is a hater of taking bribes. And I put this here specifically because I know that a lot of times we are tempted to take bribes in order to promote our cause or to get more of what we think that we deserve. But if you have the fear of God and you are trustworthy, I think this would be an easy thing for you to do. I'd like to focus on the findings of 5 years of research study done by a number of organizations and businesses to model what good leadership is. These findings will hopefully shed light on what makes or breaks good leadership. This lady, Linda Hill, is a Harvard Business School professor, and she spent years and decades studying all kinds of businesses and organizations. And she realized that innovation is not about solo genius. It's not a one-man thing. It's about a collective genius. This is what she explained about Pixar movies. Some of us in here have watched it over and over again because it was one of the first computer-generated movies. And she said it took no one flash of inspiration, but it took years of planning and implementation. It took 250 people and 4 to 5 years to produce just one of these movies. No part of the movie is considered finished until the entire movie wraps. That means that every scene in Up, where the boy hands a piece of chocolate to the bird, that 10-second took one innovator 6 months to perfect. Each person shares his slice of genius, and then there's an improved productivity. At the heart of an innovation is a paradox. You have to unleash the talents and passion of many people, and you also have to harness them into work that is actually useful. Innovation is a journey. It's a type of collaborative problem solving, usually among people with different expertise and different points of view. Innovators rarely get creative in full bloom. It is a result of trial and error, that's of false starts and missteps and mistakes. It can be exhilarating at one point, and we can feel downright scary. You know, why is Pixar successful despite many cooks in the kitchen? Why is it that they have so many people working together, but yet they're able to produce quality work? It's because of innovative organizations that are successful because of 3 capabilities. There's 1, the creative abrasion, 2, creative agility, and the third one is creative resolution. Creative abrasion is to create a marketplace of ideas through debate and discourse. They amplify differences and not minimize them. Instead, we have a heated but constructive arguments to create a portfolio of alternatives. It's diversity here and conflict there. But what we do is we learn how to inquire, we learn how to actively listen, and we learn how to advocate for our own point of view. Creative agility is the ability to test and refine that portfolio of ideas through quick pursuit, reflection, and adjustment. Number 1 is about discovery, learning, where you act rather than plan your way to the future. 2, you design the thinking. The scientific method and the artistic process need to come together, where they run together in a series of experiments and not just pilots. You don't want to spend your time just piloting things. You want to experiment to see if it works. If it works, then you put it into fruition, bring it into fruition. Creative resolution, on the other hand, is making decisions in a way that you can combine opposable ideas to reconfigure them in new combinations to produce a solution that is new and useful. Number 1, you develop a more patient and inclusive decision-making process when you do that, because you allow for both and solutions to arise and not just either or. You can't just be dogmatic about it. It's either going to be this or that. No. You gotta be able to look at the picture of everything and choose the best of both worlds. These 3 capabilities have allowed Pixar and Google to do what they do best. So finally, from all my studies, I came up with 5 things that great leaders do. Number 1, great leaders build trust. Leaders encourage employees to be open and honest about their professional goals as well as their personal issues. And the best way to do so is by encouraging open, candid conversations as a team. 2, they provide continuing opportunities for your employees to develop themselves. You want to identify the strengths in your employees and you help them to develop those strengths, because eventually it will help your organization. 3, you have to inspire confidence in your team. One of the single most important mark of a leader is the ability to inspire others to be energized, to be passionate, to be committed, to connect to the organization's mission and direction. And the 4th is to lead by example. It's to develop yourself into a great leader. You must not only inspire others, but set the tone and lead by example. When leaders do not practice what they preach, they lose credibility around them. They must model the way for others to follow. And finally, they must have empathy. In order to inspire others to perform to the best of their ability, you must understand their perspective in life. You must respect the opinions that they have, and it results in service that is better for your customers. And thus, empathy allows you to achieve your goal, and customers, employees, and everyone wins in the end. Thank you.